Hey, this is Raymond Rose. Thanks for joining me today. This is a really important discussion I'm going to have with you today regarding your iPhone. You're going to want to save this, listen to it again, pass it along to your family and friends because two things. Number one, unfortunately, people are misplacing their phone. Yeah, that happens to almost everybody all the time. Sooner or later it might happen. And I'm going to tell you about that. But more importantly, you may not be aware of the fact that there's a surge in thefts of people's iPhones. Literally, you're at the cafe, you're holding your iPhone, and all of a sudden somebody just rips the phone out of your hand. They run out the door. There's somebody waiting in the car and they're gone. And just like that, not only did you lose your iPhone, but think of this, you've lost your entire digital life. And I'm going to show you what you need to do to prevent that. So there's 5 steps that we're going to get into. And before we go into that real quick, if you're a new listener to my podcast, it's a reminder that my podcasts are live. There's no editing. There's no videos to watch. There's nothing that's going to distract you while you're driving. So let's talk about your iPhone. Number one, your phone either has a home button or you've got facial recognition. Okay, I get that. But at one point when you were setting up your phone, you had to set up either a 4-digit PIN or a 6-digit PIN to get into your phone. So number one, if you've got a 4-digit PIN, change it now. Make it a 6-digit PIN. You want to get it so that A, if you misplace your phone and somebody finds it, or B, somebody steals your phone, you want to make sure that it's very, very, well, I was going to say difficult, but really I want to say almost impossible to get into your phone. You want a 6-digit PIN only, and you want to make it complicated. You don't want 111, 222, 333, whatever. You want to make it complicated. Think of your phone like it's an ATM card. I presume that your ATM card doesn't have a very basic password to get in. I'm presuming it's complex, and I'm presuming that when you go to the ATM machine that you're making sure that nobody's looking over your shoulder, nobody's standing next to you, nobody is seeing you punch your PIN in, because you say to yourself, geez, if they know my PIN, then all of a sudden they're going to rip the card out of my hands, and then they're going to go somewhere and they're going to empty my bank account. I mean, you don't even think about that because it's second nature. Well, that's what you need to be doing with your phone now. So step number one, please make sure you've got a 6-digit PIN and make sure that it's complex. Number two, I'm going to ask you this question point blank. Answer it with all honesty to yourself. Do you know your Apple ID? If right now, if you lost your phone or somebody stole your phone, what you need to do is get into somebody else's phone right away and put in your Apple ID. Do you know your Apple ID without a doubt? You should know that, again, no different than you know your street address or you know your social security number, you know your birth date. You should know your Apple ID. And I'm going to explain to you in a minute why you need to know that. Because number three, do you know your Apple password? If I said you got 1 minute to get into your Apple account, type in your Apple ID and type in your password, would you be able to do that within a minute? Because if you don't, well, then you've got a problem. And a lot of people will say, oh, well, I don't know it off the top of my head. I have it written down in a piece of paper at home. Well, you know what? That's not good enough. So you need to know. So number one, 6-digit PIN. Number two, you need to memorize your Apple ID. Number three, you need to know your Apple password. I'm going to take a quick break so I can tell you that most of my podcasts, if you're listening for the first time or if you're a repeat person, I appreciate it. But I make podcasts every single day about keeping my life simple, keeping my life focused, and doing whatever I need to do to reduce stress. I have 4 areas of my life every day that are priorities. I would think these are the same priorities that you have. Number one, we both want to have excellent health. We all want to have lots of free time. We all want to be really smart about money, and we all want to have really good habits. So like I said, I make a podcast every day based on those 4 things: health, time, money, and habits. If you're getting anything out of this podcast, I'd appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to my channel. All you got to do is hit the black button. Every day there'll be a podcast that goes into your YouTube subscription base. You'll hear exactly what I've got to say. So I'd appreciate it if you could consider doing that. Okay, let's get back to where we were. So you got a 6-digit PIN and you're making sure nobody's watching you. Number 2, you know your Apple ID. Number 3, you know your Apple username. Here's number 4. If you lose your phone or somebody steals your phone, either way, here's what you can do. You can literally go into anybody else's phone, even if it's an Android phone, or anybody's computer or anybody's tablet or anywhere, and just simply go to Safari or Google or what have you, and go to iCloud.com. iCloud.com. And when you go to iCloud.com, it's going to say, hey, what do you want to do? And you're going to say, I want to get into my account. So you can go to any computer in the world and get into your Apple iCloud account. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. You can go into your friend's phone. You can find your phone wherever it is by going into any computer. So you're going to go to iCloud.com. You're going to say that you want to sign into your account, but now that you know your Apple ID and now that you know your password, you'll be able to get right into your account. Follow me? So you can do that on anybody else's phone, tablet, computer, whatever. And then from there, you're just going to follow the instructions that says, number one, if you're convinced you lost your phone, like, oh, it dropped out of my pocket or pocketbook in the parking lot, or I left it in my friend's car, or I'm not sure where it is, well, you can just go to the Find My iPhone link. And when you click on that link, Apple Maps is going to show up and it's going to pinpoint exactly where your phone is, what address it's at. And then when you get to the address, it'll even show you within that address of where your phone is so that you'll really be able to find your phone. But if you think your phone or you know your phone was stolen, what you want to do is get into your account as soon as possible. You can click the link that says my phone was stolen, and Apple will guide you through exactly what you need to do. And the bottom line is you want to be able to change your password as soon as possible. Because think of this, if somebody else stole your iPhone, and Apple doesn't know that if you're holding your phone or the person that stole your phone has your phone, they're going to want to change your password right away. And guess what? They've got your phone. They've got your password. They know your phone number because it's all built right into the phone. They're going to change your password as soon as possible. And then all of a sudden, just like that, your digital life is gone. And according to Apple, there's no getting it back. So let me wrap this up. Here's what I'm going to suggest you do. First of all, of course, be really, really careful with your phone. I mean, I just see reports all the time that say, hey, would you rather not have a TV? Would you rather not have a phone? Would you rather not have a second car? Whatever. And everybody always says, my phone is critically important and I'll give up a lot of other things before I give up my phone. So you really got to be laser focused on keeping your phone safe. We're going to have other podcasts coming up about backing up your phone and those things. But you really want to be proactive in making sure that your phone is, I know my phone is really important. I'm not addicted to my phone, by the way. I'm not. I just know that my phone does so many things for me and I want to make sure that I don't lose it. So learn all that. Take a minute today and go through it. Go on the apple.com site. Maybe prepare yourself with that if you lose your phone, or making sure your phone is backed up. We'll talk about that soon. Making sure that you know exactly what to do if your phone is ever stolen. Just be proactive to make sure that you're keeping your phone safe, because like me, it's my digital life. There's so much of my day in and day out operations that are going on in that phone, my calendar, my notes, my documents, my scan, everything. I depend on my phone. It works great for me and I don't want to lose it. So that's the purpose of today's podcast. I hope you got some really good information from it. Before we go, 3 quick things. Number one, if you enjoyed what I said today, I'd appreciate it if you would give me a thumbs up on the screen. Number two, also pass this along, hit the share button and pass this information along to your family and friends. I'm hoping that they can use it. I would imagine so. Next, please, I'm new to podcasting. Critique me. Tell me, what did I do good? What did I do bad? Did I talk too fast? Did I explain things well enough? There's a comment section below. If you would comment in that area, that would be great. And number 3, scroll through my other podcasts that I've already made at Raymond Rose Media. I think I've got some really good things for you. So that's it for today. I'll be putting out another podcast tomorrow. Hopefully you'll listen in. Until then, this is Raymond Rose. I appreciate your support. Thanks for listening.